Welcome back to another episode of Projecting Grandeur. I'm your host, Ron Dichter. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you for being part of this community. We have been steadily growing, and the mission is to help entrepreneurs because these are the people that are changing the world. And while I don't have every bit of information, I have had successful exits, and anything that I can bring from the way of wisdom to help entrepreneurs in their journey, then I'm all about that. And I also bring some great guests on that have a different set of wisdom that they can impart on entrepreneurs. So I hope you find the show helpful. And please remember to subscribe. Please remember to share. It means the world, and that's how we get the message out. Today, I want to just kind of double click into ethics a little bit. And I was having a conversation last week with a buddy of mine, and he was telling me about one of his key employees that had made a really bad decision. And the bad decision was, they cut a corner in order to bring on revenue because they were trying to juice their paycheck. And they weren't necessarily trying to do anything nefarious. But what they ended up doing was they really shortchanged their career because now my friend can't trust them. And he looks at, this employee who used to be probably his most top senior trusted advisor. And now he realized that, when push comes to shove, if this person is faced with the decision of cutting a corner to make a little extra, money, then they're going to do that. And if you're in business for the long game, then your ethics and your integrity, you don't get second chances. And it's really important that you understand this because, especially if you're early on in your business and you're just getting going, there are going to be a lot of opportunities where you can make shortcut decisions, and those decisions might get you revenue faster, but at what cost? Meaning, are you doing something that might be hoodwinking a customer and you're bringing them on, and maybe you don't have the product, the service that can fulfill their needs, and you're just getting them to sign an agreement, and for them to find out a few months into it that you're not what they thought, and then they're going to spread a bad message? Or are you bringing on, team members, giving them promise of the world, and to find out that you don't have that? Again, projecting grandeur and lying are not the same thing, right? Projecting grandeur is something you believe in your heart that you can make happen, and you're going to do it the right way. But lying, deceiving, taking shortcuts, I am not an advocate of that. And if that's something that you want to do, you should tune out of the show. It's not for you. I think ethics are probably something we don't spend enough time talking about. And, integrity, ethics, and just, the moral compass that leads your daily business life are really things that are paramount to you as an individual. And, I have built a career over the last 30 years, and I've had, businesses that I've sold, and all of the people that I've done business with, all of the relationships that I've had, they're still very much intact. And I remember a business that I sold, it must have been 7 years ago now. And, when that business sold, eventually it was sold again to another private equity firm. And I remember going to the celebratory dinner, and the head of the private equity firm had said, there is seldom a business that we buy where the performance, the projections, the grandeur, if you will, that the CEO and founder had conveyed during the sale process ever comes to fruition. And they even said, we underwrite some sort of discount to what somebody says, meaning if you're going to, go into selling the company and you're going to, say it's going to do X over the next 3 years, they're like, okay, X minus 20, X minus 50. And the character of the person is going to help drive what that discount is, right? They're going to look back into your history. And this person stood up in front of the room and said, look, Ron's company is one of the few companies in my career where we've ever actually exceeded expectations on what we underwrote the business as. Meaning the projections that I had presented were not like pie in the sky, rose-colored glasses. They were reality. And things like that help me. So when I get to my next business, that when I want to potentially do business with these people again, or if I'm going to ask for a reference, or somebody says, hey, what do you think of Ron? They're going to say he is a man of his word. He has integrity. He tells you stuff that he believes to be true, and he will work his butt off to make sure that those come to fruition. And I think that that is something that's so important that you really need to spend time thinking about, because as you get started in your entrepreneurial journey, you will be faced with these opportunities to make short-term decisions that might financially benefit you, But long term, what are they doing to your reputation? What are they doing to your business pedigree? And if you're planning on being a business, whether it's this business or a future business for the long term, you've got to be a person with great integrity. I mean, I've even had people that I have gotten into legal battles with that after it was all done, we, parted ways, stayed in communication, and to this day I'm still friends with some of these people because they understood that they would never have gotten to that point if there wasn't something that was wrong. But again, I still went into that engagement even when it was a legal battle, with good intentions, quality, integrity, and again, you just can't replace those things. So my word to you today, in a very short, sweet manner, is don't make short-term decisions for financial benefits today that will compromise you as a person, your business, or your integrity. You will regret it, and it might not be right away. You might be laughing on the way to the bank, but there will be a point in time where you will have to face those consequences. And that's the point in time where you hope that you have that moral character that people want to invest in, they want to work with, and they want to buy. This is Projecting Grandeur. I'm Ron Dichter. I'm here to help entrepreneurs with anything that's in my brain to make them better because they're the people changing the world. Thanks for tuning in. Please remember to like and comment, and please, most importantly, share this. It means the world if you can share it with somebody who can also benefit. Have a great day.